Hi, welcome to the second of our short webinars dealing with incapability dismissals. In our previous session, we looked at long-term absences. In this one, we're going to look at short-term, persistent, recurring absences and what you can do about that. My name is Gary Smith. I'm one of the partners in the employment team at Knockholds. So in terms then of short-term persistent absences, we need to reflect upon the process that you would need to follow. And as with all types of dismissal, when someone has protection from unfair dismissal, you need to be looking at process and procedures and getting those right. So the first step you would look to take is to explore the reasons for the absences. Why are they taking so many days, or 2 or 3 days here or a week there off work? And you need to give them that informal warning that we've noticed there are a lot of absences. What do you need to improve? How can we help you do that? You would then need to think about whether the required improvement has actually materialized, and then ultimately, if nothing improves, you can look at dismissal. Now, how would you look to explore the reasons? Well, the simple way is to meet with the employee and to discuss it with them. What you're really trying to get to is, what is the underlying cause? Is there something more serious that you don't know about, perhaps a disability that you're unaware of? Is there something going on in their personal life that is leading to all of these absences? Or is it simply a case of Mondayitis or a bit too much partying of an evening that is causing it? Now, if there is nothing fundamental underlining it, and there isn't then an improvement in their attendance, you'll need to start looking at introducing formal warning, so verbal warning, written warning, final written warning about their ongoing absences. And of course, that can feel a bit counterintuitive. Well, they can't help being ill or being poorly, but fundamentally, they do still need to come to work, and they should be coming in. It's not fair on colleagues, on clients or customers if staff are perpetually off sick. And so it is important as a part of your process, and to show that you gave the employee a fair chance to improve their performance, you need to be giving formal warnings at each stage so that you've got your paper trail, and also, as I say there, clear guidance on the improvement that is required. Now, when deciding whether to move towards dismissal, you need to look at various other elements. So look at things like their length of service. If they've been with you a very, very long time and they haven't previously had any absence issues, then maybe you would be a little bit more lenient or understanding with them going forward. Look at their performance in their role. When they are actually in work and doing the job, how do they get on? Do they actually do a good job? Because if they're not very good at their job, then you probably want to be escalating it more quickly towards dismissal. But if they are a good employee, if they are profitable for you, then you might want to be a bit more understanding and give them every chance to improve things. What is the likelihood of change in their attendance? And that really comes down to the reasons behind why they have so many absences. What suitable alternative work could you provide to them? Could you, if it is a case of struggling first thing in the morning, could you maybe change their hours to push to push them later in the day. Think about those sorts of things outside the box. To what changes could you make to maybe accommodate, particularly if their performance in the role is generally good when they're there. And also, of course, looking at the past and future effect on the business. It is quite possible that during a quiet time, a higher level of absence could be accommodated. But when you're coming up to your busy time of the year or a busy period for the business generally, then you may be less accommodating of their repeated failure to attend work. Once you've been through the process and you've issued your warnings, they're on their final written warning, you then need to be looking at potential dismissal. You would write to the employee inviting them to a meeting. You would need to make clear that a possible outcome could be dismissal. You would hold that meeting. If there is no good reason for their ongoing absences, and let's be honest, if you've got to this stage with no improvement, there probably isn't, then you would look to dismiss, confirm that dismissal in writing, and give the right of an appeal. If they take up that appeal, you'd hold an appeal hearing, ideally with a different manager if that is possible. But if that is not, you're a small business, then you need to deal with it as impartially as you possibly can, and then finally confirm the outcome of that appeal in writing. So I hope that's been of some interest. So the next session in this series on incapability is going to look at the crossover between ill health dismissals, both long-term and short-term, and disability discrimination. And I hope you'll be able